Bam, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Let's go, baby! For the weekly candle. And we'll get there in a second, but shout out to all the beautiful souls out there. Thank you so much for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the show. I cannot believe we capped the week off here on a Sunday night. What a beautiful day it is to be alive this beautiful July 9th. I'll remember it. It was a beautiful day with me and my family. Hung out, worked really hard actually up until 2 o'clock, from like 7 a.m. to 2 o'clock. Had meetings, was in the trading group for a long time, looking through charts, looking at things, updating Bitcoin. And even did a live stream earlier today where we talked about where I believe Bitcoin will go. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's happening. We're getting a dump as we speak. The second the show starts with the weekly close, it's getting a little bloody. Let's break it down immediately. Shout out to everybody here. Bitcoin starting to get a bit of a red candle here and a dump on the weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly close. Let's talk about what happened on the weekly. Then we'll break down the smaller time frames and what's happening right now. I do see a bit of a dump here right now, though, for sure. We're breaking out of the symmetrical triangle to the downside, okay? Just, a bit of an M here. Couldn't get above the resistance. We hit a point of control and fell over. Coming down to these points, value area lows here, you know what I mean? Because it's just what happens when you lose that point on the VRVP. And 1 hour is getting oversold, though. Can we get the VR recovery back? Is this just a squeeze for the longs? And, we'll take a look at BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP did suggest earlier today at 30,300 we would go to the downside. And we just went to the downside here. They filled a bunch of orders right here. And they were able to stop out a bunch of longs, $255,000, 55 accounts, just got absolutely liquidated like squish, like a little bug on a window shield. Now here, we have orders here at 29,005. We got orders everywhere here, over here. And the thing about this is there's just not a lot of liquidity up here trying to take it away. So this band of liquidity here and here suggests we go further to the downside. And the whales, they want, and the makers, they want 29,005. You can clearly see here on the books, that's the biggest order at 1,061 Bitcoins. And I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but like earlier today, if you watched my live stream earlier today, we were somewhere up in here. I said, well, we're likely going to the downside because there was just more liquidity down there. You know what I mean? We got a little bit of a move up, but then that was about it, right? That was 2 nights ago. Anyway, so it still suggests that Bitcoin will go further to the downside than to the upside. This is not 100%. This doesn't mean yes for a fact, but we'll look at some other parameters for BTC that I see on the technical analysis, and then together we kind of put all that that story together, and we get a bit of a we get a pretty good reading of where the market may want to be going. All right, we could still say that we're still inside the range, and we're just going to bounce back to the upside. What makes sense is because you're very oversold on the 1 hour. 15 minutes still wants to take a pretty nice dump to the downside, like it's not done yet. The 7 may try to stop us for a second. Well, I see some bullish div. If I go from candle to candle, don't use the wicks. A little bit of bullish divergence there so far, unless we get a really swat push down on the RSI, but unlikely. A little bit of bullish div here on the 7-minute suggests we could get a bounce back to the upside for Bitcoin. All right. Shout out to the beautiful people here. Shout out to Dimas Juarez. You surprised at how much music, movies, and television are directly derived from his terrible narcissistic teachings. Anyone who's not aware of Aleister Crowley's awful effect on nearly all me. Oh my God, yeah. I don't know as much as you know, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But I eventually got onto the rabbit hole. Glad to hear, Jennifer. It can be hard to articulate to the world. Is wonderful to people. I find it easier to show them. Rooftop, stargazing, lighting storms, or any sort of view has helped in the past. Shout out to Jennifer. We love you. We hope all is going well. We hope there's some type of guiding light there for your beautiful daughter. And thinking about her again, man. God bless you. Well, the second someone gifts, be fast and click on the present icon and accept gifts. My man, Gift Burke, is trying to show you. GF Burke, he's the gift man. He's trying to show you how to get it in. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here on a beautiful Sunday night. All right. Even though it is July 9th in the summertime, we still have 270 beautiful souls on the live. All right. Weekly candle close too. So let's talk about it. I want to look at the weekly candle close. I'm getting old. I just can't do it like I used to. I don't have it in me. My wife also says she can't stand it, but the kids love it. I find out the kids love it. And when I'm not around, they go, close. And they like to make the noise, and they think it's so fun. So as long as the kids love it, it's all that matters to me. You know what I mean? It's all that matters to me. Let's talk about the weekly candle. Let's break it down and talk about it. So the weekly candle opened at $30,613.57. The high was $31,525.10. The low was $29,715. And the weekly candle would close at $30,168.38, down $445.13, down 1.45% on the week for Bitcoin. So we started at 30,006. We ended at 30,168. This candle already starting red on the week. Not the worst thing in the world, not the best thing in the world. Are we double topping? What is the most bearish? If you're a complete bear, what's going on? The bears are saying this is resistance. You've tapped into resistance. Clear as day. This is a fake rally to bring people in. Please don't, someone come in right now and think this is what I'm saying. This is what the bears are saying, okay? I'm open-minded. I'm not a bull or a bear. I'm just a trader. I'm just taking advantage of what the technical analysis says. So, double top. This is an M pattern for sure. This is what they're saying. I'm not, And we're breaking down. And we're going to come back down to 21.5. And then there's going to be like a world recession and Bitcoin's going to go lower. And, and they're going to also say this is like a shoulder head and like kind of a right shoulder. And like this is the neckline and we're going to break to the downside. That's what the bears are saying. All right. Okay. Just want to make it clear. All right. What are the charts saying? Let's dive in and let's take a look. So again, like we do every day, we did it earlier today. I do it again. Resistance, bounce. We know there's a good liquidity zone here that we would tussle with if we came back to it between 24,004 and let's say 25,200, $700 area of liquidity for Bitcoin, all right? You break that area, you come down into this zone here, right? Where this is an up and down area at 19,000. So you got 29,000. You might tussle with 21.5 first, 21.8, you know. But you got the level at 24,000. We'll call it 24.5 to 25.2, all right? And you see we bounced off it beautifully with the falling wedge. Again, we were below the 200 SMA. This is a very big thing. I say it every day, and I probably sound like a broken record, but, you know, I want to continue to push forward these same ideas daily, over and over again with consistency. So price action is above the 200 SMA on the weekly time frame. Super big, huge deal. Absolutely enormous, big deal, all right? Long as this stays, I don't care if we do this or whatever we do, whoop-de-whoop-de-wop-de-whoop-de-woo, doesn't matter what we do here. As long as that ranks true and we stay above that, there's likelihood there's more upside for Bitcoin, all right? So no matter what anyone tells you, no matter what news you read, no matter how bearish you get, no matter how emotional you get for Bitcoin, no matter how much, so maybe it's your favorite person on YouTube that you love besides me, which I don't know how that's possible, but maybe there is. And that person's now bearish and they get in your head and you start thinking, I'm going to short all the way down. Just, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. All right, right, as said right here. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. But the idea behind this is, as long as we stay above this 200 SMA, there's just no bearishness. Once we go back below that, things change. And that's when we'd have to really just, we'd have to like look ourselves in the mirror and decide whether it was going to be a bludgeoning or a light touch, but we would know that it was going to be a bearish zone. So right off the bat, we're smooth sailing until that happens on a broad scheme, you know, putting the lemon in the water, even though it's a little late. I know. Shout out to my dad, Jimmy Price. God bless you, Dad. I love you, man. Had a good day today, Dad. You would have loved it. I would have told you about it. I know you wouldn't have come at this time. You would have been home chilling, but we walked around the city. Definitely talked about you. So many things reminded me of you. And Kenmore Square is like always reminds me of you. And you taking me to the baseball games. Almost, you know, every other, my birthday was always around opening day. So my dad would always get us some tickets and bring us, me and my sister, just something that he would do. It's never too late to put the lemon in the water. Amen. Shout out to, I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Like, is it Joe? I just want to say Joe Pieris or Pires. Or is it Yahoo? Is it Yahoo? Just jumped on the, hit number 1 if it's Joe, hit number 2 if it's Yahoo, hit number 3 if it's Jaho or Jao. It's Yahoo. It's murder 1 backward. You guys are funny, man. What's murder 1 backwards is Enarder. And Abdominal Breadman Spaghetti Rigetti hits him with the 1 Crypto Lifer membership to the up left-hand corner to the upside. Queens get the money. Amen. Mob deep. We mobbing. So weekly candle close bearish. 3 wicks to the downside. All right, let's just collect some bearish tones. 3 wicks to the downside. All right. But the 21 crossing that 200 SMA, we have back tested it. It's a very bullish sign on many, many, many assets throughout history. But who knows? It doesn't have to be this time, you know, but it could be. Like the Shining, because we have the Shining on crypto. That's creepy, man. And then your name's right there, Eno Red Rump. You're scaring me, man. You're scaring me. Mr. Eno Red rum, please leave the building. That's scary. Girl Scout cookies for everybody. Cheers, man. Amen. Bitcoin to 250K. Dude, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie here? Is it that peanut butter? Is it mint? Is it, or the coconut? So peanut butter one, the coconut, or that mint chip that everybody just goes nuts for. Everyone write in, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? They're horrible for you, and we know they're processed. So, but you have to buy them because you can't be rude to the kids. So you eat a couple. I used to eat the box. Now I eat a couple, throw the box out. I do the right thing. Or give them to the birds or something. I don't know. Do you like the peanut butter or do you like the thin mints? It's them thin mints, man. Or you like the coconut? Earth is about to change. I'm a Samoa Girl Scout cookie fan. The new chocolate caramel brownie one for this year. They're horrible for you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Tagalogs, peanut butter dipped in chocolate, man. Now, Tagalog, that sounds like something out of the Philippines because they speak Tagalog, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. I want to learn. I want Sean to teach me how to speak Tagalog. All right, so the weekly candle close wasn't amazing. All right. Let's talk about the daily now. Daily's touching the 21-day moving average, which was something we needed and we were waiting for a while. Yes, sweetheart. And this is what we picked up today. We're not fans of soda and Coca-Cola by any means, but I don't know. We saw this pop icon, and I figured I told my daughter she could probably resell this in 5 to 7 years if she wanted to. It's up to her. So she said, "Should I open it?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You can either."
I'm gonna open it and play with it, but I'm gonna keep the box so when I'm done with it, I can sell it.
Just don't lose pieces and keep it clean.
I know.
Don't chip it. Don't let like Nyla throw it around.
I'm not gonna.
And I actually feel really weird letting her get Coca-Cola because we're not fans, right? You don't. I think under my watch she's never had soda, and there's no soda in the house. We don't allow it. But I just thought it was iconic, and she picked it out of nowhere, and I was being daddy at Newbury Comics, which is a cool store I grew up going to as a kid. And hey, both of you, what's going on? Anyway, let's get back into Bitcoin. So the daily's in a bullish megaphone, as far as I'm concerned, until it's not. And it could easily break the zone and break to the downside, but this is what I'm seeing. I haven't seen anyone commit to this yet. I think people were going to start committing to this shape soon, but you never know. I could be wrong, but this is just what I'm starting to see. All right. We had the falling wedge that had to break out. It was kind of a falling body. We technically broke out. We're coming back. We're slightly retesting in a way. That is an M pattern. That looks ugly. The measure move for the M is further to the downside, which looks like we're going to possibly double bottom and retest the end of this wedge. All right. We do see a gap in the VRVP. We're losing a big zone of liquidity on the 4-hour, which means we could fall all the way down to the next big zone, which is right there at 27,900. So don't be surprised. All right. Another idea for this is if we go to the 22. No worries, my kids are always just doing something crazy. I only have 2 kids, but they sound like an army sometimes. I can only imagine people with like four or 5 kids. Like it's just out of control. Like they're just screaming like on a Sunday night at like 8:30 at night. They're supposed to be going to bed too. This is like bedtime. I hear the baby crying. I hear my kids like I'm like, what are they? Watch, I'll be a dad right now. What's going on up there? What's going on up there, Summy? Hello? What's going on up there? All right. Nothing. No one answers me. It's so weird. Yeah, daddy's away. So anyway, 22-hour time frame, still oversold. I mean, but it could, even this curve down here, I could see a nasty dump, right? So don't be surprised. The bearish idea is that we could come test this level here. It wouldn't be the worst if we bearishly retest it and start to drop. Then we'll start looking at the next areas, and we'll be ready for it, and we'll short the market, and we'll have fun, and we'll make money, and we'll see a bear flag on like the 15, and we'll see a bearish retest, and we'll see that we're going to break down from this level, and we'll watch. Smaller time frames will confirm. high probability bearish patterns, and we'll play them to the downside. You get it? So you don't have to be in fear as long as you're willing to put in the work every 5 to 7, 8 hours. You're gonna be fine. So 22-hour could break to the downside. Is that gonna happen? No guarantees. Right now we do have good support right here. There's no reason to think that we can't test it or break it. And we have good support right here too. Because we have resistance, right? We got above it. We could retest it. We have resistance. All right, so now the MACD wants to turn too. I mean, so the bullish scenario, right, or just the flat scenario without being bullish or bearish, just the open-minded scenario is Bitcoin is in this broadening megaphone. It's testing this wedge. It hasn't broken it yet. Until it breaks it, we have reason to believe that we could break back to the top of the channel, and we have reason to believe that we could continue to the upside too as well. Okay. Measured move of the megaphone is length of this initial pole, really. We're talking 36.4, 36,500. Okay. So, and again, huge area to get above. We break above this area, it solidifies that Bitcoin has created a bottom above 30K. And we can start getting busy for our next area of liquidity. So, really big time for Bitcoin, to make or break, but it also is going to take some time. It could take a month or two to get, late September till we really see what we want to see. You never know. Looks like me the 15-minute bullish divergence hitting 30, about to confirm. I'm so sick of Paw Patrol. I know, right? We're through Paw Patrol. We didn't get the second kid on it. She doesn't know anything about it, so it's fine. All right, so I'm looking for a move. I'm looking for the 1 hour to bounce, It's kind of a double bottom here. You see it? So let's see if we can get this double bottom. They don't have to be perfect. And start to move back to the top of the pattern here. Very oversold 1 hour. And we just got to get some divergence on the 15 or the 7. And the 7 has a nice little bit of divvy right here. And what I like to do is double click, readjust, take a look at the RSI, be neat about it, uptrend. What I like to do here is you can put your blue lines in now just to be like super, and then just identify your move here. And you could be like, that should get a bounce. And what's happening right now? We're getting a what? Boom, a bounce, right? And that's identified. And then you're oversold on the 7. Could flip the 15. So, and again, it's Sunday night into Monday. Worst night to trade, I'll be honest. And Monday's the worst day to trade because it's false move Monday. But what we are looking for, right, is for the 4 hour. Not to dump anymore. Basically, we want to watch the small time frames for bearish signs. So we want to look for this. Like this was basically in a symmetrical triangle in a way. I guess it kind of had a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. You see that? It definitely had an inverted head and shoulder. Not easy to see. And that definitely was basically the exact measure move. Wick to wick. Maybe it might have a little more. So interesting how this stuff plays out over and over again. But you identify local resistance, right? And you look for that line. And so right here, couldn't get above, drop, tried to get back, fell down. So Bitcoin has to get back above 30,200. And then for sure, this wick here, 30,450. So these two areas are areas that just have to be achieved, no matter what time frame you're looking at. You can see it more clearly on the 1 minute, though, right? So unless those areas are broken through, we have to remain bearish for Bitcoin. There's no all of a sudden we're great. you know, we're gonna break through to a new area. You know, at the moment, it's a retest. That's a possible, could be looked at as a retest of this trend line, and there's some divergence here. It's weird. It's like all the patterns are like these broadening patterns. You know, so you need to break up from this. You really, really need a daily tomorrow. You know, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We need a daily candle to close above 30,450, preferably. You know, it doesn't have to happen. You know what I mean? But that could kind of, you know, just ward off the wolves for a little bit. It's like and get us into some you know, a safer zone to build more bullishness from. So that's our next big resistance, and then the local one on the 1 minute is just 30,220 now. Like, we just got to get above those two zones. Those are our, like, you know, it's like if you're playing a video game and you have to beat level 1 and level 2 first to get to level 3, 4, and 5. That's level 1 and 2. Like, those are just the levels we have to break. Nice bit of liquidity here that just came in for Bitcoin. Nice giant candle. So that's a good sign. That divergence is playing out, you see? And we're low on the stochastics. Right there, we may break that first resistance area. It would be nice. So where do I see us tomorrow or moving into Monday? I mean, what I'd love to see is a break to the top of this channel. Boom. Which I believe is the most likely. Bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Take some time, hit the top. Just taking its sweet little time, you know? And you got the golden cross here that just occurred. You're getting the 100 and the 80 now. And eventually they all get together and then boom, you know? So it's a bullish sign even on the bigger time frame. Daily doesn't look too bad, 22. And you just got to make sure you can hold the zone, which you have been so far. Technically, this is a falling wedge that's breaking to the upside, right? You just have to play it the way it's supposed to be played. It's a falling wedge that breaks up, and it's attempting to retest kind of this trend line here. As weird as it seems, with some bullish divergence on the 7 minute. Look at the wick there on the 1 hour time frame. And that's Sunday night. I mean, there's heavy volatility Sunday night into Monday every single week. The most predictable thing about Sunday night into Monday is it's going to be very unpredictable. But that's the most predictable thing about it. This price action is nuts. It's so messy. It's such a mess. I'll be honest. Like, from what I've noticed in my life, like, this is a mess. But it is what it is. It's cool. You know, and you can see, I mean, don't be surprised. Like, there's a chance this ends up Bart Simpsoning us to the downside here. Unfortunately, I don't know where price is going to go. I just have a way of finding out the probability around the, you know, pretty close to when I can figure it out, just to keep myself on my toes, right? By using technical analysis. But we should see like a flag on the 15 or the 5 minute, like after a bearish fall here, we should see some type of bear flag that can give us a continuation pattern to the downside. So if it does start to dump, we should find out around here, bearish retest, and then we can start to kind of make another move. Okay. Right now, bit of a double bottom with a move back up. Can we hold the zone? Looking pretty strange. Price action's pretty whack. 4 hour doesn't look amazing either. It's pointing down bearishly, to be honest. So, and you got an M right here. You could not get above the previous resistance. Second time the Stokes come up, you can't get above resistance. They start the curve. It's always a good short, you know. That's a cool, like, that's an easy, like, not an easy technique, but an easier, recognizable way to trade. Price goes up, usually you'll see it high. You know, usually this will be high. Sometimes this time it wasn't, but, you know. But you'll make a high, and you'll come back up, and you'll attempt to make your second high. And even fine, your high was here, you know, and you come down, your second high was there, you come down, you make another high, and And by the time you get back up again, you just have a lower high. Then, you short that low. Based on the stochastic showing you that the momentum is pretty nil. Doesn't always work 100%. Look, you got to move there. And again, every trade, if you're going to have your spot, swing trading, you got some space. But if you're leverage trading on any of these, you just have to be ready to raise the stop loss to break even and to take profits almost as much as possible. For me personally, other people have different strategies. It's to take profits as much as possible. You know what I mean? I'm surprised you just realized my name. I've been here chatting since like 2 years ago. But you're my go-to for crypto news in the morning. You put the live on and start welding, man. Amen, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you. Shout out to Eno, Red Rum in the house. Thank you for being here. My man, Murder One. Oh, man. Shout out to Stregahart in the house. God bless you, brother. Shout out to Dojin Toolman. Shout out to Hater. If I'm saying that right. Trade Export in the game. Shout out to Bob Blessing. Shout out to Jimmy Bitcoin. Jimmy Bitcoin. I'm a savage right now. The way I chugged that water just so rudely. I was so thirsty though. We were walking around all day. City of Boston is absolutely beautiful. 1 hour candle attempting to turn red or green. I mean, it's battling out with this nasty candle. There is more liquidity to the downside. Suggests that we go further down. Where is the road to the downside? How and why? Well, it's the idea that this is an M at the end of the day, right? And M's break down, the length of the wicks to wicks here from this middle section. But it still could be a double bottom with that wick there. And you go to 29.6, 29.5, possibly on some more capitulation. And that would fulfill BOOKMAP completely. Right? And the story would be told. And lock and key, the puzzle would be successful. So it'd be pretty cool if that happened. I need wife saving money. Amen. I've never heard about that. I need enough money to keep my wife or she'll leave me. That's hilarious. He may be serious though, so it's not that funny, but hope everyone is well. Thank you, Sam, and everyone in chat for the time spent teaching and helping others. May everyone have a blessed evening. God bless everybody here. And we're here every single Sunday night at 8 p.m. Shout out to the 500 beautiful souls on the live, 195 likes. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to the hardest working man alive, not on YouTube on that weekend stream. Much respect to you, Sammy. PS5, Future of Gaming in the house. Thank you for seeing the respect, man. God bless you, brother. I'm just gonna stick to something for the next 4 to 5 years till it gets me somewhere, and then we'll go and then we'll figure out where we go from there. Amen. Right? Maybe I'll do it for 30 years. Who knows? Maybe it'll never stop till the day I pass. We never know. A lot of alts looking like Wyckoff Spring coming. That's what I'm saying. I need ex-wife money. Amen. Shout out to my man in the house. Follow me at CryptoLifer33. Please jump on in. I would greatly appreciate it. 15,500 followers on our way to 20K. Thank you so much for the love. All right. I desire to become financially free so that my wife can work because she wants to, not because she has to. She won't have to then. She'll work for you. Start a company together and grind together. You never know. Big things can happen from that, So at the end of the day, I see a falling wedge breaking back to the upside. Short-term 1 hour scalp. I'm calling this short-term 1 hour scalp falling wedge to the upside. It may not be amazing, but we got the divergence on the 7. I'm with it. You probably think I'm nuts. That's cool. That's the more people that think this trade is insane, the better. But this is the call here, the long to the upside into tonight, into tomorrow morning. The riskiest long ever. And you got tight moving averages with the 200 out there. We would pump up to the 200 SMA. It kind of goes with that little game that I got going on there. And it's the bottom of the channel. And we get the bounce. So anything is possible. Just one thing that I'm looking at. And we'll go from there. We will go from there. So I'm calling the long on the 1 hour time frame to the upside. Tomorrow morning. Maybe by the show or somewhere in here. And we'll move this over a little bit because time will make us move sideways. So I'm predicting we're somewhere over here when I wake up tomorrow morning and we do the live stream. But you never know. All right. Yeah, Kelly Killam is definitely DJing. He's here, man. Shout out to Kelly. Nah, I love Kelly, though. Great dude. Sam, I don't know. I would still be in crypto space without you. You taught me a lot, and your channel is respected and loved. Never think your hard work doesn't get appreciated. Shout out to Seize the Day, man. Thank you for saying that. God bless you, brother. God bless you, brother. I appreciate that. It's been a tough road, and it seems like it never ends, and it never will end, right? It's just like anything you build, you have to keep loving and building, or it goes away. Nothing stays forever unless you curate it, unless you love on it, unless you push for it. Like a garden, landscaping, any area, any property. To make a property look nice, it has to be constantly cared for, right? It never ends. It never ends. So I'm looking for a long for Bitcoin to the upside. They're going to play games and capitulate to scare people, but I'm looking for a long for Bitcoin to the upside. All right. Who was here this morning for Bitcoin's update? Put your hand up if you were here this morning for the update. God bless you. We love you. And we appreciate you. Crypto Fear and Greed Index today is at a 56, up a little more than it was earlier from a 55 last week, all the way up to 62. You want to be buying as much Bitcoin as you can. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I shouldn't say that. I want to be buying as much Bitcoin as I can when Bitcoin gets into the shaded area. I don't know what you got to do, but people who know me and know the channel have seen me buy Bitcoin when it's down here. Chunks of it, 5 grand, 10 grand, whole Bitcoins, and they've watched me. They've watched me accumulate BTC live on the channel, and it's just something that I've done, and something that I've done on the channel. So again, this is the area to buy BTC right here, baby. I'm not saying you can't buy it here. I just like to put bigger orders in when we're in this heavy fear shaded area for BTC. But, we're not in heavy greed, but we're in some greed for Bitcoin right now, which could, say we need a little bit of a push down. They really want this liquidity. They're touching into it. They're starting to take a nibble. It looks like they're going to eat that sandwich. We'll be at 29,005 before we know it. But that's what BOOKMAP says. Let's see what happens. See, it says we're going to dump nice and neat. Let's take a look at like the 30-second to 1. If we got some type of indication or a bear flag or something. I mean, we even have like a cup and handle here that says we could bounce. So BOOKMAP wants it, but there is a strong divergence. Even kind of reigns. The 1 minute's not strong enough. So it's slightly there on the 5. You don't really see it till the 7 minute. It's pretty strong on the 7. Now it's like bloody. It's pretty strong on the 7. Very strange though, the behavior so far. And you can't get in. Now 30,200 just it has that vibe to it. No good. That's the level that we have to break back above. 30,220, and you can see we're toying with it right here. I mean, we bounced around, but you got to be more bearish than bullish until we can get some type of reversal. 1 hour does want to move back to the upside, though. It's interesting, right? So pattern trading says we bounce off this bottom trend line back to the upside. Even if we are more bearish in the end, like we could come up, make the pump, and then just break down. But we would have to come down here to a bearish retest and make some type of bear flag in this area for me to consider the short to the downside. Till I see that, I don't really want to short yet at the present moment, I'm looking for one on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute. That's like a cup and a handle right there. Like that even looks like a quick scalp trade to the upside right now. I mean, I've traded so many cup and handles in my life, and it's even like an inverted head and shoulder at the bottom, and you're coming down to revisit the neckline. See that? That's the neckline, and you're revisiting. Understand this concept because I can't tell you how many times. Right here is the neckline. I can't tell me how many times an inverted head and shoulder broke out, even in bullish times, and price would come back to the neckline, So I give the 1 minute, it's one more chance to rip. It doesn't really have a strong divergence though. A reason for me to think that it could get a huge bounce, you know. We'll keep that on ice for a second, and we'll look at the total market cap. So total market cap for Bitcoin, right? We found that hidden bullish on the 3-day. We did break out. Daily reset. We went more sideways than down, which was great. Okay. We have this beautiful support zone right about here at 1.04 trillion. We broke down to 970 billion there in June 17th, but we came back up. So about a month ago, a little under a month ago, we were below a trillion. We're back at $1.133 trillion. All right. We left it at this idea. We were consolidating. We made kind of a rising wedge that broke to the downside. So you could say that did technically play out, right? Are we consolidating further sideways like so into a bigger consolidation? That would be nice. Or we making a shoulder, a head, and a kind of a right shoulder. The shoulders don't have to be perfect. Well, I could even see that break to the downside, you know? I don't want to say that. I'm just saying, like, that's not what I would want to see. I'm just showing you what I have seen and what could play out. You know, that can be looked at like a head and shoulder pattern. Just being honest. Sometimes I wish I didn't say anything and I was just like kind of kept it moving. And I'm like, Sam, and I'm like, but I gotta be honest. Like, I have seen that type of pattern play out before. I've been so amazed by a TA that now I don't let TA slip out. Like, if I see it, I call it out. You know. So what we're looking for here on technical analysis is like definitely this double bottom to hold, and definitely for this daily to get a move back to the upside here, and to start some like what I'm showing you, some bullish consolidation possibly. You know. Even a bull pennant would be great, but some type of back up and down movement. So even the total market cap is showing signs like previous resistance, it bounced, resistance, fell back below, bounce. That's a pretty strong support zone that's been laid out. And you're looking for the bounce back to at least the top of the range somewhere at 1.18. So I like what the daily's saying for the total market cap. All right. Total market, and then the total market cap of all of the altcoins, right? Again, we keep focusing on what? The 4-hour time frame and the what? The 200 SMA. We must stay back above this. We got this yellow line that we bounced from. We almost went below it. We're getting close again. We're attempting to hold this range. You got to see this 4-hour flip to the upside. We got to get this 1 hour to flip back up. If we start to make a bear flag or something here, we start making some type of flag, I mean, you got to short that to the downside. And it's like you're going to short it down to 300, you know, from 326 billion down to 300 billion. So sad to say. If not, we can hold this trend line we've continuing to form, we've been bouncing on, and get tight in the zone and hopefully get a retest on out of this ascending triangle. But there's no guarantees. And it's starting to be a bit of a rounded top, which I just don't like. You kind of have an Adam and Eve. It's funny. I'm starting to see Adam and Eve's in ways like I've never seen them, but like it has an Adam and Eve vibe, even though it's twisted and not, you know. To the untrained eye, they may think I'm crazy, but to the long seasoned vet, like you can kind of see that may end up playing out. But so it's also, even if you forget that, it's just a rounded top, and rounded tops are they're not fun. They're not good. Like here's a rounded top. It's actually an Adam and Eve here because you can see the Adam and then the Eve breakdown, right? Sometimes they're backwards, like here's the curve and there's the sharp. Broke down anyway, you know. Sometimes it will be backwards. I've seen it, but it is what it is. I've never had the conversation with anyone, but I've definitely seen it enough to be like, yep, maybe 1 or 2 times, but so, you know, you don't get a chance to discuss every little thing like that, but your mind picks up on it and you make your plays. All right. One last thing, like, is this a shoulder ahead and like another little right shoulder that breaks down? That's what we were saying earlier, and it could be. It very well could be. So, are we bullish or bearish, Sam? You did a lot of ups and downs. You didn't really come to one full conclusion. What is it, Mr. Lifa? Where are we at tonight? Where do you see the charts taking us? Well, I have to remain bearish until we can get back above $330 billion, right? At the end of the day, we're kind of making even the smaller symmetrical triangle. And we're getting tight in here. If we break down and make a bear flag, you got to short this down. I'd say a 314 bill, and, you know, that's a move to the downside. Okay? And these are all the altcoins, so we, you know, if we can get a break up here and retest 330, I mean, we can break back up to 340, and we can hold this trend line, and things change, you know, and we kind of stay a little safe. We then would have to worry about a possible double top here, but we'll, you know, we cross that road when we get to it. Just like chess, like you see the 5 moves the guy could make. He makes 1, you were right. He makes 2, you were right. You still have that 5th or 6th one waiting, but you gotta watch the next 3 and 4 moves before you can even make a move, right? So what you want to do is you want to see price action staying inside this. Like right now, to me, we're pretty much breaking outside the zone, you know? Like, we have to keep stretching it to keep it inside the pattern. It's a little bit of a fairy tale. Like right there, it's like on the line, and it's still technically outside the pattern. See, we'll see how the night ends and progresses, but sad the thing for the altcoins, but it looks like we could get this hit, and altcoins could take a nasty dump. So just be careful. I wouldn't long alts till you see total 3 break above 331. And even then, that's a quick hit. Then I wait again and wait for it to break up and retest 340. These 2 zones, a retest of 330, possible quick move, a retest of 340, a monster bigger move. Because that would spread you back up. And, you know, you get through this gap in the VRVP, things would start to change. You're hanging on this. See this big high volume node sticking out? You break it, you're coming down to the value area low. You see how quick this can happen? And you got a gap up here, so things, you're at a big standstill right here. So the alts are at a moment of truth for sure. Point of control right there, as you can see. The POC, and right now we're right below it. We got to get back above the POC. We got to stay inside this pattern. Tonight is a make or break move for the altcoins. All right. Lots of alt BTC pairs are range lows. Maybe this is a fake out grab below the trend line. I say this to all the US users. The IRS doesn't care if you use VPN or not. They just want the taxes paid. Amen. Prepare for the new. Oh, no, I don't say that. That's horrible. Looks like mini fractal of the beginner. Did you cover BETH? Beth. Who's Beth? Use MEXC. Shout out to everybody here. I will buy 100 Bitcoin. From my bone gains. I have some bone. Leash and bone and shib and all that fun stuff. You never know. I'm not as committed as you, but I hope to. I God bless you and hope you on your endeavor, because I know if you blow up, you're going to fly me somewhere. We're going to meet somewhere. It's only going to help my life. So I always, people that hate on other people, it kind of makes me laugh, because I'm like, for instance, if someone that I know ends up getting huge and blowing up, and they throw a birthday party and ends up being at like some amazing hotel where they fly people out, or some island, you know what I mean? So like the traders in my group, like I want them all to get richer than me. I want everyone I know to be even more successful. I want everyone to be happy and for it to go that way, right? I was looking at this earlier today, CFX short, and look at it, it's up 14% gains. Went to a total high on the wick, up 21% gains. It just looked highly likely to play out. If you go back in time here, I just mapped it out, and it looked likely like we were going to short on CFX. I can't, bang. Normal me was even looking at it last night. The moving averages were tight. Everything was just kind of doing what it does. Stokes are low, moving averages are tight, bottom of the channel, 1-2 touches, usually come up for the third touch, break out. MACD didn't really have a lot to say, you know what I mean? RSI was bending below 50 in a good spot. So like it had the give and go. MACD was turning. You want to see these, like when you see all these curving, curve. That's a good sign. Like just as a beginner, curve. Doesn't mean every time, but you're at the bottom of the channel, tight moving averages, and curve. That's an aggressive curve. That usually tells you that's a pretty good move, right? And then just up and down, getting into a tight channel. And then tight moving averages. Just keep repeating that to yourself. Tight. And that would be a nice entry at the bottom of the channel, right? And this thing just boomed to the upside. CFX on the shorts. Market's been a little funky. I was looking at bone on the 3L token, which is interesting, which is opposite, right? Pepe 2 was looking somewhat long too, which was interesting. But again, all the setups that I post long that are bullish, Bitcoin has to play out for the bullishness to continue. You know what I mean? Like if Bitcoin decides to take a tank, we lose a key area, all those bullish setups will break to the downside, you know? Send in super chats to see your altcoin charted. Shout out to GF Burke in the house. God bless you. Thank you for saying something. Shout out to the 518 people on the live, 269 likes. God bless each and every one of you for jumping on into the live stream. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look at DXY as we kind of head on into the day. So it took the nice dump like we wanted it to. Absolutely lovely. It's like taking your dog for a walk and you're just like, come on, I want to go inside. It's cold out here. Just take a dump. Yeah. No, I've been there, you know. So we drew this little flag the last we looked at it on probably a very small time frame. And we wanted the break to the measured move. We got the break pretty nicely down. And we're still kind of in a more bearish tone here, right? And see how I'm recycling. Don't throw away. You can throw it like this one. I'm going to throw it away. But like, then you have a pile of these in the digital ocean. And like, what does that do, So see how I recycled my white lines just there? Took them from the old pattern. Try to recycle as many white lines as you can. Just do your part, in the digital world here. Just, So look, tight moving averages. We could just pump back up to the 200 SMA, give Bitcoin some problems with a little move back to the upside. 15-minute overbought, though, good sign. So we'll see what the smaller time frames have in store. Right now, we could just be in this flag. And honestly, that could dump. And that could be Bitcoin's pump back from the top of the channel. So I'm not bearish or bullish on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin just has to get back above 30,220 to show me anything. However, it looks like someone's been trying desperately to push it under 30K for like a week and a half now, and they just can't seem to, which is pretty funny. But this has a measured move down to 101.81. That would be a lovely, lovely move. Bigger scheme of things is symmetrical triangle, may break back to the top of the channel, but we want to see this thing break out and break back down the way it's supposed to. And we want to see this get rejected by this top channel and end up somewhere down here at 98. So we've been tracking this. I called the top for this Bitcoin idea with the bearish. All I had to do was find bearish divergence on the daily, and the 2-week really had it nicely. And, I knew how important it was to see bearish div on big time frames. And that's when Bitcoin was like about 19K. And that's why I bought. So we hit this area. We had a little bit of a slide down, and I bought Bitcoin at 19,000. Then we had the black swan, and then the dollar and Bitcoin both tanked together, which to me was like, I've been planning the strategy for months. They had been basically uncorrelated for months. Everything was going well. Then you see this happen, and I was looking at it like, what the heck is like? But, I still stand by my 19,000, and I did get 16 and a half, 17, 18. I still bought Bitcoin at those areas. I wish I bought more, of course, but, and it would have been nice to get the whole Bitcoin at 16,000. I'm not lying. But if I look back in the next 5 years, that $19,000 Bitcoin will go down just like my 3,000, the low, even 1,500 purchases back in the day for BTC. So I first learned about Bitcoin when it was $350, like read about it, but just had no idea what they were talking about. And I was introduced to it as like a stock, like from a miner perspective. I was trading stocks and reading newsletters from stock miners. This one stock miner was like, the Chinese are going to buy up this coin. It's like it does mining, but digital mining. He's like, this is why it relates to gold. And, you know, all the new stock people are looking at this thing. It's called Bitcoin, and it's $350 a coin. And we see it getting accumulated by the Chinese in the next 2 to 3 weeks, doubling in price. And I'm like, what? Next thing you know, 40 days later, it's $600. And I'm like, and they're like, we told you this coin was going to go up. It's a new digital thing. And I'm like, what the heck? And someone had already showed me, and then someone in the streets showed me what Ethereum was and showed me what coin market cap was. So like, I was getting hit with cryptocurrency from every angle. It was as if I was going to end up in crypto no matter what. Like, it was a chosen thing for me. Who here feels the same way? You know, put a 1 in the chat if you remember getting bit by the bug of cryptocurrency. You know, if you got bit by the bug of cryptocurrency. You know, I know people that got into crypto $300, $100. You know, oh, I mined it when it was on my computer. You know, 1, put a 1. We got Dream Talks, putting a 1. We got Pome, putting a 1. We got John Connor, Master Friend, Stack McChange, Journey Jones, Dead Game Boxing, Creators Crypto, Shane Focia, my man. We got Solo, Killer Ty. We got Crypto Plumber in the house, Drain the Swap, my man. We got Ed Moust. We got Nasty Gene. Don't be too nasty, Gene. We love you. We got Edgar Castrillon. We got Crypto Crabman. Oh, Castrejon, right? We got Leroy Essel. We got Jao Pierres. We got Jeremy Kinlaw. We got Lizardo. We got Ryan Fashon. We got King Kong Gun. We got NSB Crypto. We got Asalia Lopez Ailman. We got Crypto Tonight. Appalachian Nomad Big. We got Juan. We got Casper Maxi. PS5 Future of Gaming. Abdominal Breadman. Lotmo Crypto in the house. Tube 21's Ham City. Seize the Day. Mark Tuzzy. Don't mess with Mark Tuzzy. He got a tucked on a Tuzzy. You got me, buddy. Sergio Gadima. We got Righteous. We got Chris Anderson. We got Crypto Clown World in the house. We love you. I love that name. The Crypto Clown World for show. We got Naughty Ways. We got Eno Red Rum. We girl. Oh, man, I can't do it. Sorry, man. Jose Moriel. We got Lifer Adam. We got Just Cheese in it. We got George, Mark Tuzzy. Tuzzy, I love you, brother. We got GF Burke in the house. Crypto Tonight. God is love. 528 hertz. Amazing. 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 So we want to see this DXY break to the downside. It is forming a symmetrical triangle, which could go either way. And we're watching this price action closely. But so far, a nasty red candle. The daily is starting to make a nice dump. And it's not done dumping. It's just getting started. And that's a bearish engulfing candle. We would like to see this dump continue, at least down to support at 100.95. And that would break this symmetrical triangle to the downside. They are 50-50 patterns. But in my lifetime, I've seen them break down about 80 to 90% of the time. I'd say 90%. I'm going to stand by that. They break down way more than they break to the upside. Now, 3 big YouTubers called your cup and handle, you said months ago, all posted on Twitter. But they post positions already in now to 58K. Crazy. Hey, you never know, man. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. We'll take it one day at a time. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Who knows where Bitcoin's going to go? We'll take it one day at a time. I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. But what we'll do is we will look at all the indications and parameters, and we'll have the highest likely, highest probability idea of where it is going to go. All right? So, shout out to everybody here. I'm trading on MEXC Global. MEXC is the place to be. Why is it the place to be? Well, when I trade futures, I go in and out easily. The liquidity is awesome. When I trade spot, I pay 0 spot maker and taker fees. 0 spot future maker fee and 0.1% taker fee. What's the difference between a maker and a taker? A maker is when you limit in. You make the limit. You make the order. You're like, I want this order here at this price. You make the number. You put it out to the order. So you're waiting to get filled. You do the work, right? The other one is a maker. It's like a market order. You just want it at this price immediately. They have to go and find it and compile the order for you and feed you so that you become the taker. So limit orders, are maker orders. Takers are market orders. But you could do market in and out on spot and still pay 0 fees. I can't believe you can market order and pay 0 fees spot trading. Why even limit in then? What's the point when you can market in every time? So anyway, and then you have futures maker fees, 0% taker fees on futures markets too. And there may be some funding fee, if you're holding a position, but that's not from the exchange. That goes between the holders. If there's more people holding long, they pay the shorts. If the more people shorts they hold, they pay the long. Just if you have trouble reading my name, then you will have trouble reading the Bible. MD about Cain. Eno, the book of Enoch. Perfect explanation. Can you see USDT, USD in 0.91 cents? Yeah, US Tether is only there and that's only on the Binance US exchange, just because they have no liquidity to back up their Tether, because there's no dollar there, so it's making it worth less. Because that's all. Don't worry. Deep breaths. You'll be fine. We're gonna make it through this together. Lifer, what's going on with KuCoin? Nothing's going on with KuCoin. Oh, if you're a U.S. citizen, you can't KYC, so we will be kicked off the exchange on the 15th. It's pretty sad. It is what it is. But there may be a solution. You never know. We'll look through the back ends and find out for you. Stay tuned. If you're in my trading group, we'll have something for you as soon as humanly possible. So, life means love, man. Love is the strongest frequency in the game. If you live in love, you can't be denied. So far, that cup and handle tried to break out, did a double bottom, and now it's kind of hanging out. So we didn't get the love. We didn't get the liquidity. We didn't get the break to the upside. No. But we still got this kind of forming. Still got falling wedge vibes that could break us on out. With the bullish divergence, we desperately need to break back above 30,000 to this area right here is our like, we have to get above this yellow line here. 30,214, 30,220. Back to the top of the pattern is what we want to see. These are just little bitty games, right? And then that could bring us back to the top of this pattern up here. So that's why we want to see the 1 hour make this move. We want to see the 1 minute get back above 30,200. Okay. I wouldn't trade either way. It's Sunday night into Monday morning. And it's our first full week after a bunch of sketchiness. We also have Fed, 3 weeks from now. We have another rate hike. So it's going to be another one of them months, man, as we battle through with the Fed every single couple of weeks. But we'll get through it like we do every single time. You will still be able to withdraw from KuCoin. Yeah, you'll be able to withdraw easily. You just won't be able to place orders. And you won't be able to deposit, which is sad. You won't lose your money, don't worry. We'll go over it all together. Any thoughts on government rug on this bull run? You really think they'll let it run its usual cycle? I think Bitcoin does whatever it's supposed to do no matter what. TA is TA, right? And the weekly has made a bullish divergence. So I go by that. I don't let the FUD into my head, because when I've let the FUD in and, all that geopolitical nonsense, and what happens is I end up missing beautiful technical analysis that told me highly likely what's going on. And once you do that a few times, so first you don't know the TA. So you're affected by news and life, and you go by that and emotions. Then eventually you lose too much. You try to find a new way because it doesn't work, and you find technical analysis. But then you do TA like everybody else, and you're like retail TA. Then you eventually find your own unique style. You start meeting more and more people that are highly unique and getting into and then you find about liquidity. You find out about divergences, and you start stepping yourself into a higher level of trading. And at that point, you realize that there's something, and then a couple times is, you realize that you need technical analysis. And the fact that you weren't using it the way you were before was insane. You look back and you're like, how was I not even using TA like the way I was? And it just becomes the road of a trader, right? And then there's days where you knew the TA, but you didn't listen to it. And that's great, because there was times where you didn't even know the TA, so you couldn't have felt bad about not knowing it. See, I always tell everyone this. My equation for this, or my metaphor, is someone's in the minor leagues. They get brought up to the majors, and their first, 2 games, they strike out 3 times each, and they're all down. And they call their dad or their brother or their friend, and they're like, man, congratulations, man, you're the majors, man. He's like, yeah, but I struck out all time so far. I haven't got 1 hit yet. And it's like, but you were in the majors and you got to say you were striking out. Next week you're going to do better. If you're meant to be, you're meant to be there. So but the idea is, it's great to strike out at the next level, especially at levels that you didn't even know existed 2 to 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So instead of beating ourselves up, what we can do is we can twist that around and we can say, wow, well, look where we've come. Look at the things I complain about now. Or not complain about, but I'm concerned about, or I look at closer to than I looked at 4 to 5 years ago. You know? So just a little bit of idea of TA and thought process. You know? One minute's attempting to make a higher low here and get a move to the upside. But I wouldn't bet on it, but there's some probability we could break out. It's also a high chance we just completely dump on this M. So, sad tonight is you would really have to watch price action on the 1 minute. Once you start bear flagging below 29.8, that would be an indication to short the market, in my humble opinion. And once we break this trend line, you know, we go from 29.5 and then we could go all the way to 28.5. And really the stronger liquidity is 27.9, 28,000 too. So like once you lose this area, you come here and there. It's like this is the zone. Just here to say thank you that you exist and changed my life. Not financially yet, but I'm sure following your knowledge, this is just a matter of time. Love you all. Shout out to Shorts. Thank you, man. Yes, sir, TA is all you need. People like to complain about the blessing they were praying for in the past. Amen. Lifer and Frankie are the best Shohei Otanis of crypto shorts and longs. Bats left or right and pitches. Amen. Casper head and shoulder played, waiting for support coming. Amen. Learn from George Glider, the technical prophet, crypto baker. It was just me. The U.S. government looked worse if they're trying to play games and will lose more votes, especially given supposedly only 10% of the crypto volume is in America. Damn, Waves is liquidating shorts left and right. In and out of trades like hit me once, 30, that's nuts. Move on to global, no fees, in and out of trades. Amen. Get a money citizenship. You can still trade on the outside U.S. exchanges passports for crypto. Get a money citizenship. You can still trade on the outside U.S. key exchanges passports for crypto. Life is demand. Shout out to Billionaire Mindset. God bless you. Days like this, I scout for the bullish idea on the 4 hour and set a mean stop loss. Set it and forget it if I must trade. I know what he's saying. Yeah, like I forget about the minutia of the small time frames. Look for where the 4 hour may come down or some support, right? Honestly, I wouldn't even trade, but the 4 hour might be if we can bounce here or start to make a breakout. Stop loss would be here outside the channel. Entry somewhere around here and then break it back to the top of the channel. That would be the trade, the most likely trade for me. Even though it looks kind of sketch, we could get the move back to the upside. And that's just pattern trading. You know, we're bottom range, we should go top range. Just like, you know, being super light about it and not getting too heady. But it's tough tonight, I'll give you that. Tonight's one of those nights where it's a little sketchy. The edge isn't there as much as there is other nights, you know. Okay. Change the U.S. presidency, then we'll be fine. Crypto Lifer went Jordan Peterson for a second there. God bless you, brother. Jordan's the man, dude. What a nice dude. Probably shouldn't say. I never know what yikes. Be careful what you say, lifer. Don't let them take my wife forever. No, so tight moving averages. Watching this MC Dex. All right. Took a horrible whip to the upside and down already, I guess. But could it do it again? There's a possible chance. Very loose liquidity. That's the only thing that would get me kind of a little freaked out by that trade. But again, I don't see a lot of amazing alts. We want to roll out this morning. I did post to the trading group that I'm looking at that look hot for tonight. You know, use KuCoin, but just download MEXC. Doesn't support my area in Louisiana. What's another good exchange? I mean, everyone should be able to use whatever. You can use MEXC. I'm telling you. You just have to do the right thing. Lifer and Frankie are the Shohei Otanis. I don't know. What is it? I got to research that. Opinions are so dangerous these days. I just like Googling things I see in the chat that I've never heard before. The Shohei Ohtani, Japanese professional baseball player. Oh, yeah, okay. The Unicorn is a Japanese professional baseball player, design and hitter and outfielder for Los Angeles Angels. Okay. Born 1994. Okay, he plays right now, Shohei Ohtani. Sorry, I did not know. I don't know enough about baseball. The Dodgers' favorite sign. Okay, wow. So he's a star. I apologize. I should know these things. S&P futures did try to break out of that little flag to the upside. Bit of a double top. Didn't make it out of the secondary flag. Daily is still looking good to me. So what I do is I get rid of this tiny flag that I had drawn there. And I would just start looking at it like this. I like that the 21's touching price action. And if this just consolidates sideways, that would be a beautiful futures trade on the S&P. When that comes down, that's an aggressive entry, but that could be a nice move. For your hard work and time, shout out to Seize the Day for the $5 super chat. God bless you, man. Thank you for the love. Appreciate that. $5 in chat revenue, baby. Look at the views, though. It strikes again, the 777s. Almost every time. Shout out to my dad, man. He was on that 7. He was going to be 77 in October. I still can't believe my dad passed. Like, some days I'll wake up and I'll be like, a couple mornings I'll wake up and I won't remember for a second. That's the weirdest thing. You wake up in the morning and you'll be like, all right, oh, it's beautiful. You hear the birds, you look at the day. What am I doing today? You know, what's my dad? And then you hear the birds chirping. Next thing you know, my mind hits me and it's like, your dad passed. Your dad's not around anymore. And my mind's like, your dad passed. It's like, yeah, man, your dad passed. It's like you kind of have to relive it every morning. Sometimes right when I wake up, I remember it. It's like the first, like right when I wake up, I'm like, yeah. I'm also sleeping in my dad's room, man. Like my dad's room. So the place where, like, you know, it's weird for me. I'm doing everything I can to keep my family together, my sisters and my mom. And just, we're broken. We're not the same. Like, my dad was that, like, the man is the rock of the family. You know what I'm saying? No matter how old, no matter what, like, until they're, even if they're on a wheelchair and can barely talk, like, not saying my dad wasn't like that, but, like, the man is the rock of the family, you know? The man is the rock. Like, the absolute rock. Waves just blasted to the upside. And I thought Waves could get a move here. You could see me posting it. Look at this thing. I looked at Waves. It went right to my target at 274. So crazy. I swear sometimes I don't understand. It's like I'll look at something and I will half think about it and boom. Waves just blasted the upside. I don't think I posted it either, which kind of pissed me off because you can see I had the TA drawn. I don't know if someone asked it on a super chat. I don't think they did because I remember being alone just looking at it one day and I was like, well, I was looking at it on like the 1 hour. And I was like, you know, it makes more sense. Maybe even the 15. But I was like, it makes more sense because I first had it like this and I was like, yeah, it makes more sense if I bring that lower, you know? And then I just grabbed some random measured move just like from this wick to this lower area. You know, I took this wick, swung it down, just a pole there. And then I adjusted. Told me I could see a 280 Waves. It's so crazy. Waves just blasted to the upside too in the last 15 minutes. And the structure is pretty weird. It's not perfect. And it's kind of a cup and handle here. Sammy, cup and handy. There's your cup and there's your handle, right? Cup and handles are just explosive. I've never seen a pattern that can go almost like most patterns. You go like this, right? The cup and handle, like straight up, almost more than you would see it. You know, it goes straight to the upside. It's pretty crazy, you know. That's why they call me Sammy, cup and handy to the upside, bro. To the upside. ETH blasting. ETH isn't blasting, all right, at 1856. Going from 1852, ETH up $4. All right. It's not blasting. ETH is absolutely blasting right now. I have never seen it up so high in my entire life. Ethereum is blasting. Sorry, I'm messing with you. I have to have a joke with myself, and you know. But let's be honest, like, is it blasting? Like, is that a blast to you? Because if that's a blast to you, I mean, you're going to have a blast in the next bull run. Because things are going to be like like nuclearly, just absolutely like having nuclear fusion for you, like if that's a blast, like then you're gonna be like, the walls are gonna be shaking for you, you know, you're gonna just be like, oh my goshness. You just want ETH to break back up here. You want ETH to do what Bitcoin's doing and just break back off that channel. You don't want to lose that channel that Bitcoin's holding right now, you know. Name before the Rocky movie. My dad turned 65 this year. I gotta say, your talks made me get closer with my dad. He's the ball, but he's the rock, and his name is Rocky. No joke. Yo, man, your dad's not here to be your buddy. Your dad's here to be hard on you. All right. If your dad was hard on you, he did his job. Not to be rude. If he provided for you, but he was hard on you, he did his job. And if he was nice to you, but he was late, if he loved you, told you he loved you, always patted you on the back and was like around, but he was late to your games, he got you like the used stuff, he didn't really get you the nicest stuff, but then you saw him with a new car. Like, my dad drove old cars but bought me the newest skates. You know what I mean? Like, what you want to know is, did your dad put you first, man? And that's the key. Not did he baby you, you know what I mean? And sometimes we want our dads to be someone they're not, and we're upset when they're not who we want them to be. And you know what? They're not on this earth to be who you want them to be. They're on this earth to be themselves and to do the best they can for you. And sometimes you may not take it the right way, and sometimes your dad may not talk to you in the best way. But you know what? You owe him the respect. He should respect you, but he doesn't have to. You have to respect your elders, man. I feel like a lot of people who talked about Bitcoin failed to mention the 7 characteristics of money, how Bitcoin makes them better than anything else in history. Oh, yeah. So chat, we're buying alts without KYC now that KuCoin is done. Don't worry, we're going to figure it out. But it's max global, man. Beautiful cup and handle Bitcoin on the yearly chart, now testing resistance. That was my dad, 100% hard on me, and did his very best for me. Amen. Timmy313, brother. Crypto tonight, help him stay as independent as you can. It's important they feel like stable to be the best they can. Block certain coins from some U.S. states, so it's best to always be somewhere else other than the U.S. I couldn't find a few when I wanted to buy them. That's supposed to be present tense. My phone likes to change things. BNB looking sad. I mean, that's good. That means you can short it. Nothing's sad. There's always opportunity. Repeat after me. There's always opportunity in the market. There's always opportunity in the market. There's always opportunity in the market. All right? There's always opportunity in the market. Oh, did I just say that? I felt like I did. Someone just said that. I don't know why. It just was ringing right. It just sounded right. Now, if Bitcoin breaks out, but sometimes this altcoin could just, BNB's getting hit. Right now, the liquidity is getting just absolutely slashed. The real feel of that USD getting taken away is finally really, it was announced, but the last couple of days it's being felt. Bitcoin, today I bought Bitcoin. I had $17 of USD left. I was able to buy Bitcoin for $28,000. No lie. I bought like $10 of it, $12 of it. It was what it was. You know what I mean? I will say I'm more bullish than bearish. I believe the TA is telling me that Bitcoin's going to get that bounce to the top of the channel, but who knows? BNB looks like it's in a bear flag that could continue to the downside to 169. No guarantees though, and if Bitcoin can get a bounce back, BNB is one of the bigger coins. It will bounce, probably likely with it. POKT Network has a really good rating. It's really interesting to watch. Super low. Nobody knows about it. It's on the low. Token Metrics has done some big work on it. Came out in the bear run, so no one really cares about it. January of 2022, right? But yeah, just something that keeps calling my name. I might put $500 here down at the low and just let it cook for like a year or two and see what happens. The POKT Network. Again, I didn't get paid. I don't know the people. I have no connection to the POKT Network. I'm not shilling. I'm just telling you things that I might seriously be doing with my money, which I may, I'm just being nice to show you what I'm doing. Give you an idea, an example. You do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be financial advice. Maybe POKT Network goes to zero. Maybe it gets rug pulled. Who knows? We don't know. It's high risk, high reward at this point. But like a lot of these coins, look, they're the lowest they've ever been. Look at them, just completely low, right? So we look for bounces, we look for small moves, we look for Bitcoin futures trades, and all different types of things happening. The trading group's going to open up. We're going to have some futures trading tutoring. If you want to really trade futures at another level, we're going to show you some cool techniques and ideas that can help you. There's going to be places where you can actually have one-on-ones or tutoring with futures traders. and people that kind of know their way around how to trade futures for a long time, have back-tested theories and ideas, and they're to kind of take you to that next level. But my thing is this: before you get into futures trading, you got to understand the basics. You got to know how to trade. You got to take my beginner's course, or just my course. I don't even like sometimes calling it a beginner's course, because it's just a great course all around that can help you. All right. This is a bit of a symmetrical triangle sitting on this coin here that we just found. You're just looking, image generation, right? Daily's scooping. Looks like a move could be coming. I pull a fib on this. And again, you know, it's at that 786. It went as low as the 786 there. It bounced. It's at that very likelihood, you know, very likely place for a bounce back to the upside. Resistance, bounce. Almost a bit of a double bottom there. So I got this on my radar. IMGNA, Imagine Generation, right? 4 hour, it looks like it could flip too. Doesn't look too bad. The 1 hour is coming back down. If it loses this level, you get stopped out. It is what it is. Just something that I'm looking at. Imagine Generation. And see if it's worth it. If it's over 10 or 20%, it could be worth a little bit of a scalp. Wow, 180? That's interesting to me. So I'm watching this thing get tight with the moving averages, move up, falling volume with falling price. We may have just found ourselves a little bit of a gem here. Imagine Generation, and it's AI. It's got AI in it. I might research this too. I've never heard about it before. Oversold in the daily 1 hour, 4 hour could get flipped. Pretty interesting to me. IMGNA USDT. IMGNA USDT. Or IMGNAI, sorry. Please forgive me. Imagine AI. Imagine Generation AI. Imagine Generation AI. Imagine Generation. So MGen AI. Yeah, interesting. And now we know about a new coin too. Maybe, you never know, like 2 years from this, someone may put $500 and may 100x it. You never know, you know, and they're like, oh, I remember when I heard about this coin first. I'm watching Ocean. I want it to either break out and retest the top or come down to the bottom of this channel back to the downside. Both places are going to be great pickups for Ocean, in my humble opinion, and I'm watching this channel to the upside. So it's definitely something on my radar, and I'm going to, you know, next 2 or 3 days, I'm looking for a possible scalp swing trade here on Ocean. Alerts on Ocean. That's another thing too. I kind of hit you with a lot of alerts. When the market gets super high, it's alert after alert. If you don't know alerts, then you got to go to my learning library. There's a watch first video right when you enter my trading group. You got to watch it. Too many people are like, what do I watch first? What do I do now? And my head of operations is like, how about you hit the watch first and watch first, you know? And they're like, oh, I never saw that. I didn't watch it first. It's so funny. And we try to call it watch first because we want you to watch it first, obviously, right? I think that makes sense. I don't know. If we can be clear, let me know. Funny waves just popped again. It's on MEXC Global too. Looks like I was running another idea here on waves. Waves was the trade of the night right now. It was hot. This right stream looks interesting to me. Like it wants to make a pop here on the 4 hour. Kind of in the 706 fib retracement from here to there. Boom. Could make a nice move. You got some hidden bullish forming. Could propel it further to the upside. Right stream. Interesting. All right, I'm out of here in about 10 minutes. Let me get your super chats. Let me know what you're up to. Let's talk about it. 457 people, 327 people on the live. 2 new members, $5 in chat revenue. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the $5. That is the nicest thing anyone could ever do. God bless you. I really greatly appreciate it. When I started this channel, I never thought people would be as generous as they are in my entire life. I was hoping things would go well, and the channel. I had no real expectations for the channel. I have to be honest with everybody. I wasn't like, if I don't get to this, I'm gonna stop. I didn't even know. I was like, I'm just gonna do what I love, and if something happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well, I'll do what I love. But when you do what you love, it happens. Like very rarely, and that's what I realized. Like I was like, but I was just doing different things. I was like, but you finally did what you really love to do. Because I said, man, I tried other things and it didn't work out as well as this. Things that I wrote down and planned out. But I wasn't following my heart. I was following like a business plan that I thought was going to work, that I like logically figured out. When I finally just followed my heart and did what my heart told me to do without really thinking of like the bigger consequences, just like what happens if you stream for 3 years straight and nothing happens of it, and you don't meet many people, you don't get that big, it doesn't go that far. Like, is it a waste? Like, what do you do then? And all that stuff, and I was just like, I never thought about that stuff. All I thought about was doing what I love to do. I was, COVID had us all, separated. People were, and I wanted to connect. I wanted to use the internet. And I loved cryptocurrency and technical analysis to a point of no return. And I wanted to just be obsessed about it and go over it and over it and over it, So, and next thing you know, things started to grow. And next thing you know, I find it really fascinating. And that's why I believe God has a plan for us all. So you could be you might be right close to like something that you've always dreamed of doing. And you may be getting held back, certain things maybe not working out, and you might be right there. But you can't give up. The second you give up, the dream's over. The second you go back to regularity, the dream is over. You have to believe that something different is happening. Good things are going to happen to you, and you're going to keep pushing forward. No matter what, Not many people work for no guarantees, and that's what makes you and us lifers special, 333. Well, that's why you can't get what a YouTuber gets. That's what I was researching, like the phenomenon of what it is to become a YouTuber, or to start your own kind of profession on YouTube, right? And you'd be like, well, how does it? Well, it's because the world responds to you for breaking out of your shell. The world responds for you for living out of the fear. You clearly aren't afraid anymore, because how would you have gotten from where you were to where you are now? And that inspires people that are still in fear to get out of their 9 to 5, that still want to get out, that still want to break the shambles. They're still like, well, how do I do that? What do I do? Right? Shout out to Dixon Cider. Shout out to everybody here. Oh my God, you're the man. This guy's so sticks. I can't believe you got me. You got me today. Oh my gosh, man. Shout out to Dixon. We love you, man. God bless you, brother. Big Papa, you're funny. Shibarium, let's go. I'm not going to say the second part. It actually is a brand, so you're funny. Yeah, the Dixon family. They make good cider, yeah. I'm a regular. Been here for years. Shout out to my man. I probably seen your name. Just was like, so funny, man. OMG, man. Oh, man. Say that 3 times fast, master friend. He almost got Frankie, man. You're funny. He got me today. Making me, But the idea is that you break out from your old way of life. And, you don't know how you do it. And next thing you know, you're in a different place. And slowly your life changes. And somehow it's, I'm laughing so hard. I know, right? It's actually pretty funny. It's going to make me laugh later on tonight, But yeah, you look back and you're just like, well, how? How did I get from point A to point B? You don't really know how. What you did is you never gave up. And you always believed that something great was going to happen to you. I used to daydream and think they were daydreams until I learned and I got where I wanted to be. And I remember daydreaming about being here. And I'm still not even close. I've made a transition that's been great, right? I met all you beautiful people. We never would have met. But once things culminated to where they were today, I just, I fell on my knees out of gratitude. Just straight gratitude. And I almost want to be grateful for everything that I have. You know? So, crazy how the music got soft there. Just kind of entered that moment for us all to think about. Sorry, I don't mean to be like your Uncle Todd next to the fire tonight, but maybe I do. Hi, nice to meet you. Camelot, which was Grail. Funny, another coin that I looked at today. Look at this thing. Bang to the upside. Crazy. Just looked at them and thought, like, it's like, what do I stare at something and it goes? Sometimes you wonder. I'm like, how does that happen? The short Lex, it may be hungry for more. Risky 5-minute flag on the CFX short. Looks like it lacks some liquidity. So I'd be very careful. TA looks good, but I don't know if the exchange can handle it. But Grail is good DeFi. Really? What does it do over there? What is this chart? You are fudding my bag. Shout out Aldo Lake, man. West pumps with waves. West does pump because it's called Waves Enterprises. So whenever I see waves pump, this thing pumps. I don't know if it has anything to do with waves. I feel like it doesn't. It just, its name is West Waves. So people just assume it's going to pump. It pumped a little bit. Might continue up to that 200 SMA. All right, everyone, I'm spent for the night. Sometimes my brain gets spent, and at one point, like, I'm useless, and I feel like I'm at that point. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hey, nice to meet you, Lifer. I'm Ham City. So we doing this at my place or yours. Shout out to Ham City. God bless you. Thank you for being here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere but here. Amen. Amen. Let's go to 2 a.m. I'm okay. GF Burke, I love you, man. Maybe you want to pick up the slack. You can stream for the rest of the night. I am out. My ears hurt. My hand hurts. And my feet hurt from standing at my stand-up desk. Love is love. Shout out to Stack McChange in the house. Got to catch the replay. Have a good night. God bless you, brother. Shout out to everyone that stayed with me this whole time. We love you all. And we'll catch you on the next live stream. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. We hit a whole jar of water again. Making sure you stay hydrated is the key to life. I'm telling you right now, that'll take care of most of your issues. You won't have as many aches and pains. You won't have as many headaches. You'll feel better about yourself if you stay hydrated. Shout out to everyone on this beautiful Sunday night. Tuck yourself in. Have a great sleep for the week. Don't start the week all messed up. Really take care of yourself tonight. Do the right thing. I'm serious. I'm serious. All right. Go to bed early. Take a nice bath. Relax. Do some yoga. Meditate. Make tonight amazing if it's nighttime for you. God bless everybody. I love you. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow morning as we start Monday morning with another week and another week of live streams. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. I'm so thankful for you all. Gratitude is the attitude. And when I wake up and when I go to bed, gratitude throughout the day, all the time. Amen.